During the second wave of COVID, in late 2020, when COVID was on the rise again after summer, our school declared a second lockdown, which lasted for almost 9 months, from October of 2020 all the way until April of 2021. And this is how my average day went back then. I used to wake up, it was so fucking cold outside that I just wanted to stay in bed and not even get up. But I had to, because my dad used to always wake me up. So I would come downstairs, barely even awake. I would sneeze like 500 times because of my allergies. I would take my breakfast and eat it. And my mom was already at work by this point, because it was already like 7 a.m. And I said goodbye to my dad without even talking to him and my brother. And I just followed the same routine. I went upstairs and I sat behind my computer to start my distant education. Every day we had calls through Zoom. And let me tell you, those calls were intense as fuck. Our teachers used to yell at us, but there was just something about it. Like, sure, when they yelled at us just 6 months prior, when COVID wasn't around for the first time, it didn't hit us much because it was at school. But now it was at home. I wasn't just having these bad experiences at school, but now I was experiencing them even at the comfort of my own house. And then after our distant education finished, my friends called me over to play some CSGO, which I was really bad at it. But they were my only friends, so I had to play it. And as usual, they yelled at me, made fun of me. You know, the usual. And the worst of all was, I couldn't even go outside because it was frozen. It was just so cold because this was in the winter of 2020. So at the height of COVID, I couldn't even go jump on my trampoline because it was just full of snow and it was wet as fuck. Just as the entire outside world was during winter. So I couldn't even go out for a walk, even though now I go on a walk even if there's mud outside. But back then I was so scared to get my shoes dirty, because my mom would have to clean it for me afterwards. And oh boy, was my mom frustrated every single time she came home from her work. Because the bad grades that I used to get because of my bad mental health, they were pissing her off so much. Every time she came home, like I'm not exaggerating, there wasn't a single day between like November of 2020 and like February of 2021 that she didn't come home nervous. The teachers were giving us exams all the time and they were pressuring us so hard, even though they realized how shit our mental health was when we were just stuck at home all day, doing nothing but consuming garbage content through video games, social media, etc. So, as usual, my mom would yell at me, and then we wouldn't talk for the rest of the day. And then I grabbed my phone and I watched YouTube for 5 hours straight, until it was like, I don't know, 10 p.m. that I went to sleep. I didn't even brush my teeth, I didn't even shower myself, I didn't even think about the consequences of me still being hyperactive and not still. And I still had the blue light that was bombarding my eyes. And after all of this, I went to sleep. And I wouldn't even see my mom in the morning so that I could hug her, because she was already long gone back then. This shitty cycle lasted for 7 months probably, basically during the entire second wave of COVID. And of course, as COVID ended and we all went back to school, My life was still like this, although not as dramatic as I just described, but not really so far from it. However, it wasn't until mid 2023 that I started taking my self-improvement journey seriously, and that I started doing this new really healthy habit that I guarantee you will make you happier instantly. You know, if I was some kind of a dumbass who had no intention in getting onto self-improvement and actually fixing his life, I would use this story as a way to excuse my bad habits like watching social media and playing video games. But no, today I am proud to say that I am grateful for this long period of my life, because it has made me the man that I am today. Now, before we talk about that good habit I just mentioned, we must first change our attitude towards life. Here is a really smart saying. Children don't learn anything. They just copy from their parents. So just think about it. Why do you think that the daily temptations from life and your traumatic experiences are bad things, when in reality it is the complete opposite? Like, for example, if it's raining outside today, who told you that it is a bad thing and that you should complain about it? When in fact it is really good for the environment, and plus you can use it as an excuse to stay inside and learn, or even work on your business and just do anything productive in general. Or for example, your past traumatic experiences, like that mine during COVID I just talked about. I could use that to complain about how shit my life was and that I deserve to drink alcohol to forget about it. Or I cannot be a stupid little maggot who is complacent and lazy with his life and actually use it as a source of motivation to propel myself forward and record these videos so that I can retire my parents. Because then you know how you can deal with them in the future. Like when it starts to rain again. You already know that you can just work on your business, so you don't have to spend hours figuring it out. You know that you can already go read a book or record those 7 videos. Or let's say that sometimes in the future, someone on the street will beat you up and the cops will eventually save you, but you will still go to the hospital. You can use that as a source of motivation to learn a martial art so that you can defend yourself. And that can help you in the future in protecting your future wife. And that can make her love you. This is how the 1% of the most quality people think in the world. You have to adopt this mindset of being grateful for everything and taking something away from it. Because many people today, and in the past this has been around for the entire time we humans were on Earth, instead of dealing with their problems, they start an addiction. You can see this today with people drinking, taking hard drugs, scrolling on TikTok for hours on end just to distract themselves from the real problems that they have. So if you wish to no longer complain and be weak from these past experiences, then you can just start with them. Just change your mindset. And so many new doors will open up for you. You will start to heal slowly, and your addictions, like your YouTube addiction, your video game addiction, your porn addiction, will slowly go away. So the best way that you can get started with this is gratitude journaling. It is a really healthy habit that I recommend that you do every day when you wake up. Basically, you grab a phone or a notebook with a pen or pencil and you write down, I am grateful for apples because they are nutritious. And that's it. Or you can use the traumatic experience that we already talked about, like, I'm grateful that I broke my leg when I was 5 because that made me way more cautious and made me more value my bone health. The reason why I recommend it to you to start doing it in the morning is because when you do it in the morning, you instantly get into a good mood. Like, think about it. When you are healthy, you naturally just start to smile more because you get positive thoughts in your head. You literally force your brain to start thinking about positive things. You start to rewire the bad experiences and use them as a source of motivation. Or you can even focus on the things that make your life easy now, like being grateful for your parents' car, being grateful for your mom, the woman that takes care of you, that cooks for you, that cleans for you, that washes the dishes for you, that washes your clothes, etc. Or you can be grateful for your mobile phone, because it gives you all the information in the world anytime that you want to access it. And over time, as you start doing this good habit daily, and as you force your brain to think about these positive thoughts, you naturally just seek out more things that you want to be grateful for. You start to be more mindful and more loving to the outside world, because you start seeing the beauty in everything. You start to walk around with a smile on your face, and just imagine how it will feel good when you just smile at someone, just because you feel so amazing. Imagine that when your mom comes home from school, you give her the biggest smile you can possibly give, and you also hug her the most tightly that you can do. Just start doing this one healthy habit every time that you wake up, and don't forget to bring that positive energy on someone else. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you.